was me, Mary.
Mary, that was Daryl.
I thought it was rather unusual.
Yeah. Come on, that's awesome. All right, we good to go, I guess. 4 o'clock, or do we need to wait a little bit? We good? We live? We are live. Call the September Golf JC Committee to order. Good to see everybody's face, even though we got masks on. Still good to see everybody. Gary Mertz is out of town, and he emailed me to say I had his proxy if we have anything to vote on. I don't think we do, but I do have his proxy. We'll start with course reports again, and who has them and who doesn't, that's okay, but we'll just go around the horn. So Phil, if you want to start?
And I just want to remind everybody to hit the green button
Yes.
on there. And if you keep your mask on when you're speaking, if you turn your head to the side, it's hard for the microphone to pick it up. So try and speak directly into it, and that way we'll everybody at home will be able to hear you.
Let's take it down. The Highlands course, clubhouse, good, clean, tidy. Sales are up about 10%, so it should be closer to the annual budget. Currently, they're fully staffed. The cart barn maintenance people are doing a good job getting the carts turned around. I think Daryl is going to talk later about the heavy use in the driving range, and it's getting chewed up pretty good. Some of the places that have been restoring quite nicely where we hit last month. The course fairways and greens are in a good condition due to the rain and sunshine we've received. The greens are a little slow, but that's Bermuda. Cards are good. Operational opportunities, the summer months, the rainfall kept the greens and fairways fairly playable with good grass. Ropes were installed across the approach to number 8 and number 10 greens to allow better growth of the grass by keeping golf carts out of there. Fall pre-emergent will begin in late September, and then the greens, when the greens dry out, they should become faster. I think aeration will commence in late September and early October. Many portions of the cart path need some repair. There are some holes, there's some actually rough spots, big holes in some places. Under comments, hounded on this for months, but many blue flags and regular golfers ignoring the cart signs. I don't know there's much we can do about it, but just grin and bear it. So I stick my nose out.
Did Phil, did Greg go into any detail on 8 and 10? I know personally, it looks a lot better with the growth, with the roping off, but is he happy with that outcome?
Yes.
Good, okay.
Yes.
No, number 10, we used to keep carts on the path the whole time, and we took them off. And
Correct.
that was the reason, because it's so narrow there.
Right, yep. Is that it, Phil?
Yes, sir.
Oh, cool, thanks. Mark?
Dave and I had Scottsdale. It's looking great out there. Greens, fairways, looking great. Kyle was just starting to spray that pre-emergent. We were there this morning, and he's continuing to see if he can go and limit the weeds down for the fall. He's got to try to start speeding up for the fall season, the greens, start rolling them and getting them a little quicker. And talked to Alex in the pro shop. They're remodeling the inside there, putting new slats, display area, and hopefully the next couple of weeks can get that open. And then as soon as that gets open, hopefully the bar and get the brats, dogs, get that all going and everything, and then the sales got to start kicking back up. But, and then the big thing, the bridge is open. And Kyle's putting, I believe, some more sod to cover up some of the bald places in the carts where they were traveling. And but otherwise, Scottsdale's it's going to be looking great as soon as the pro shop gets open and the display area's finished. Dave,
Cool.
you got anything to add?
Pretty much it.
Good, thanks. And for the members out there, we have with the increase in committee members, we have some of our courses that we do course reports that we have combos. So I know Mark and Dave have Scottsdale together. You and Jeff Hendren have Highlands, and I think that's the only double ups, right? Or no? Yeah, I think so. So, and you guys just figure out how you guys want to do it. So thanks, guys. Sheila.
Yes, sir. Country Club. The clubhouse always looks really good. The pro shop is always clean, attractive, well organized. The year-to-date net income is ahead of budget, and they're now starting with 8 a.m. tee times. General appearance is somewhat dry and is fast. Due to the heavy cart traffic, many areas of the course are compacted more than normal, which has led to a good problem with goosegrass, which I will address in a minute. The greens will be aerated later this month. The cart bond is now staffed with 3 people over the course of the day in order to facilitate quick cleaning and sanitizing of the course of the carts to facilitate rapid play. Operational opportunities in the clubhouse's goal is always to sell more, continue to manage labor costs, and continue to promote keeping the tee sheets full. Maintenance opportunities, as I mentioned, goosegrass is plentiful since it grows best in compacted soil. They're currently using chemicals to try and control the goosegrass, but the only thing will eradicate it is a freeze. Sprinkler system continues to be a problem. The Toro system is the only one in the village. The irrigation heads are often faulty as a result of sand getting into the heads, and they totally quit working. This then requires cleaning and repair. Just as an example, number 12 has 80 sprinkler heads. So that gives you a picture of just how many sprinkler heads they're trying to deal with at the country club. Many seasonal workers have left to return to other jobs or schools, so their current staffing is minimal. Aerating of the course will occur next spring and will decrease the damage of the soil compaction. Winterizing potassium will be applied to the fairways, tees, and collars in September. Bermuda glass will be left longer with the arrival of cooler temperatures. The focus of the maintenance staff is always playability. I did fail to put something in the written report, and that is that Rob and I talked about the tunnel between 8 and 9 and how potted and degraded that surface is going through the tunnel. And he said their plan is to repair that, replace it, tear it out and replace it next March when they close for maintenance. And then a big thank you to Phil, Bruce, and Rob for their help in getting me off to a good start on my first report. Thank you.
Thanks, Sheila. Yeah, Phil, thanks for helping her with that. It was awesome. Appreciate your extra time. Miss Susan.
Okay, for the Metfield complex, Dogwood and Brittany, of the 15,000 or so rounds were up, 11,000 of those are at Dogwood and Brittany. So they are busy all day, every day, all day long. And so I'm going to talk about some of the challenges that brings. And to be honest with you, I was not a big, I was skeptical of the free golf at Brittany program, but our revenue is more than it was when we were charging. Okay, because of the increase in the number of people, and they're paying $5 for their cart, and we're actually making more money than we used to. Okay, I'm a believer. Okay, but there have been some opportunities that come with that, and the main one is safety. So because they have carts out, they're rotating carts all day long, every day, that the areas of the sidewalks around the cart barn, there are a number of holes. So there are quite a few trip hazards there that we never used to notice because there weren't so many carts out. Okay, so that's a problem that we're gonna need to address. On Brittany, the cart paths, especially on 2 and 5, are in really, really bad shape. They're bad for carts, they're trip hazards for walkers. So we need to start taking a look at these things that before there were so few people playing, it didn't matter, okay? There's traffic in and out of their little clubhouse all day long. So most of the time they have one staff person outside monitoring the masks and the traffic coming in and out, and the other person is ringing up. And that works well, and they manage it well, the customers love it, but it is a drain on staffing. But the person outside cannot do anything else. I mean, they are busy all day long. And the other thing is on Brittany, is there are a lot of calls that come into the clubhouse about walkers, dogs, bikers, and because of they're constrained on the number of people they have, they can't go out and address those at all. By the time they find somebody to be able to do it, the situation's over. Now, last Monday at the tournament, we did have a situation where there were a couple of bikers that I think they got on the cart paths at number 5 and were riding down there, and the golfers were teeing off. And I wouldn't say that it was a near miss, but there certainly could have been. And there were only 2. When the story came in, it sounded like there were 40, but there were really only 2 bikers there. But they weren't real friendly. But that's neither here nor there. So John my husband, has started posting on the biker Facebook pages about the reasons that they shouldn't be on the golf courses. And most of the comments so far is no, we should not be on the golf courses. It is not safe. We have plenty of places to ride. And then there were a few about, well, why does it matter? Okay, and it occurred to me that many of the people who are biking, the only relationship they may have with golf is watching the pros on TV on Sunday, right? One said, well, don't they just play in the morning, right? And so he explained about the tee times, and it was sort of like, oh, well, gosh, didn't know that. So part of it's education, but I think also we might reach out to Mike Abb and see if he can help drive that communication through the biking community. The golf courses are no place for bikers except where the paths deliberately cross the courses which have been planned, and there's no danger there. The maintenance team is tired. No rain gives them no days, light days, right? It's working all the time. But it does occur to me, as I've been doing these reports for a while, that we are getting a lot of issues with irrigation on dogwood, and it occurred to me that given the age of that, it's getting to be about mean time to failure on a lot of these things. So I'm sure you already are aware of that. So we either need to plan for it or, not be surprised by next year when we have the same thing. The courses are in great shape. I've heard people talking at BVs about how great Brittany is. We've got a lot of nice comments over the weekend about how consistently wonderful the course is. And the number of people that we have playing at Brittany or started golfing at Brittany are now starting to graduate up to play the big course. So I think we're starting to get that path into the golf business. So all is well generally.
Good, thanks, Susan. On the biking piece, and I've seen them here and there. How big of an issue is it? I mean, like you said, reading a post or having somebody come screaming into the pro shop and there's like 40 of them out there and there's 2. Still, there's people that I'm not
right.
Discounting that, but I mean, how big of an issue do you think it is becoming out there?
I believe it is. It's not huge, but the challenge there, I think, is more serious than we see on the other courses because of the sight lines. Mm-hmm. Because if somebody's coming off and getting on, taking the cutoff really between the path on Trafalgar, it's not Trafalgar, Commonwealth, and cutting across the cart path to get on the path to Houston, right? They come through there, and that's a blind shot for the golfer. You can't see each
Right.
other. And there's a lot of those dog legs on that course where it happens. So I'm not saying that it's huge or that there's masses of people or
Right.
anything, but they're there, so it's.
All you need is one
I was
tragedy.
gonna say, one getting hurt's one too many.
And
Exactly,
so
Sheila.
it's I think a larger problem at Brittany than it is at Dogwood, even though there are some people on at Dogwood or Scottsdale, you see them occasionally on Country Club, Kingswood, but there you have longer sight lines.
Yeah,
And so it's not, to me, it's not quite as urgent
gotcha.
that we
Okay.
do something about it.
Fair enough, thank you. Okay. And you had tenured, and I know you had a quick
Well,
conversation, and
that's
this
all right.
was last minute when everybody got their
I'm
assignments.
gonna
this
plead
month,
new
so-
member honeymoon, here on this. I don't have-
Granted.
I don't have the report just yet, but I'll have a meeting scheduled with Hillary in the next week, and I'll have a good thorough
Cool.
report for you, so, yeah.
No problem, Mike, thanks.
Do
All right.
a 2 for 1, September, October.
There you go, the twofer,
It's
yeah.
busy, that's what we can say.
Yeah, it's busy. Anything else on courses? Tom, Darrell, Keith? Mary, I don't know who's on back here. Mary Jan, Jeffrey? Nope?
Nope.
Oh, well, sorry, I turned around. They can't read my lips, can they? Mary, Jeff, Alex, anybody on courses? Okay, moving on. Staff reports, Keith, maintenance.
Okay, well, a lot of y'all around the table made my report a lot shorter because you talked about a lot of things, so we won't be redundant on any of those. I'll just go to the things that weren't discussed. We've been cutting down some what I call widow makers on Burkesdale. We've got a few on Bella Vista Country Club and Scottsdale trees that have hangers or rotted, or they're risk to people and or our irrigation controllers. So we have a few more of those to do going into the fall. Staffing was mentioned, but I feel it's appropriate to mention it again because we've most of our seasonal people are now gone, and we have started to lose again quite a few full-time positions for better jobs now that some jobs are opening. So that's a challenge for the superintendents to keep everything done. Course conditions, the other thing I want to do, I don't know if Tammy's listening, but can you put those pictures up of something that was done by one of our fellow members here at Highlands, the waterfall? I want to call them out on it because it is awesome. If you haven't seen it,
It's really pretty.
Mark and his group, or Mark, did a lot of work, so thank you. It makes it really look good.
It's on the screen, I don't know if you guys can see it or not.
Just
I-
to see
That's great, Mark.
Phil and Greg Jones. Man, that was a lot. One of them, they were with me there, and we didn't know it was gonna be that fun when we started, but it was a good project.
Well, Greg had a nice video, but Greg doesn't take many videos. That's not his expertise. So when he started walking, he started getting real close to the rocks. So couldn't really tell what he was doing. So we didn't show the video. So there we go.
Thanks, Mark, and your team for that.
Yeah.
No problem.
There's a lot of that goes on, not just there. You know, the dogwood, the plants, the things we're doing. They do some at Scottsdale. The one that is suffering the most is right here because Jake no longer is able to do it. We were just looking at a bed around the putting green today that he normally took care of that we haven't been able to get to, and it's kind of sad a little bit because it's not as good as it could be in that spot. So we're going to have to figure out how to get some help there or do something different with that. And I think maybe here at the end, one of you two may mention what we're doing for Jake here in a little while for all the work that he has done in the village. So we'll go over that a little bit later. Okay, I'm going to go. That's basically my report on maintenance. It's been pretty standard, pretty normal considering. The Scottsdale Bridge was also mentioned. Those are both completed. We'll close them out. And it was mentioned about some sod work in 2 fairway, 8 fairway, and for the PIF T on Unfortunately, we had that kind of roped off so they wouldn't drive right over that block, and they went right over the block, so that's going to take a little while to get that back in condition. I don't anticipate we'll be playing that till spring. Sod will be delivered tomorrow if it doesn't get rained out, and Kyle will get that complete. The project, the work, as I kind of figured would, took 3 weeks. All of the time was involved in all the planning you have to do and the things you have to get in place. So we feel like we're in good shape there. Glad that project is over. So that is my report.
Thanks, Keith. On that Scottsdale, we got blessed with not having a lot of rain, so they got to get in there and do it. That was pretty much done on time, right?
Yeah, we by delaying it, actually it worked out because there was water in that creek for the whole year. And when they finally got ready to start, it was dry. That made it 3 weeks quicker to do and kept us within budget. We finished under budget. They actually had a couple change orders, which if you've ever done construction, change orders are usually bad because it adds. We had change orders where we took things out because they didn't have to do, so we saved money. That was good.
Good.
Discount?
Anything else for Keith and maintenance?
Jason, can you hear me? This is David Welch.
Yes, sir, Mr. Welch.
Mister, thank you so much for the title of respect. I just want to throw something in here. On September 23rd, the Golf Course Superintendent Association of America, along with other organizations, are making September 23rd a Thank a Golf Course Superintendent Day. And anytime you're out there and you see Kyle or Greg or Reed or Scott or Keith, we need to say thank you to them because they do a great job of keeping our golf courses there. And September 23rd is Thank a Superintendent Day. I'm a 30-year member of the Golf Course Superintendents Association, as is Keith, and we really appreciate all the hard work they do. So let's put something out there and say thank your superintendents for the great job they're doing.
Great, David. Great call out. We will definitely get something done for that. Thank you. Anything else? Keith and maintenance? Nope. Daryl, go Hawks.
Alrighty, we're gonna go start with the rounds report as of the end of August. 12,575, 15,272 rounds over last year. And I say it every time, with a third of the tee sheet. That is pretty impressive. Breakdown as follows. We've got 84,441. That's 11,900 for our member rounds. It's great to see that up this year. Non-members are up by 3,000. As you can see in the report for the first time, thanks to Radon and IT, we have got a program installed that we can track buckets of golf balls at all our location. Now, people love free range balls. We can see. Look at our numbers right there. End of August, 39,064 buckets of balls were sold or given out with activity cards. That's up by 26,000. Each facility, if you have a look, and we break down and gets down to 10-Year Creek down there, 29,000. That's 19,000 buckets of balls over last year to date. And we are in every other bay on the mats due to COVID restriction. So keep that in mind. I'm looking at everybody in the audience here or in the board room. If we were on the grass, it'd be tough to keep the grass alive, that many buckets of balls. Next year is going to be a challenge. I'm just going to point that out. You have a look at Highlands, same. It's got half the number of bays, 8,000. That's 6,000 over. And Scottsdale, that has finally taken off. Not many people know it's down there. It's only got 9 bays, which right now it's only got 5 because of COVID. We are at 1,480 over last year. One other thing, we will continue with tee times through the month of October. Kelly and the group in golf operations sent out the winter requests for everybody to fill in for winter groups. Please get those in. And right now, until it changes, it will be tee times. That's all I got for my report on my side. Any questions for me before we hand over to Alex?
Daryl, has there been a decrease in the average handicap because of all this practice that's been going on?
Anybody else got any other questions? No, I'm going to say one thing that I've been around the village for 19 years, been working here. It's my 10th year, going on my 10th. I'm seeing a lot of families out on the range, and then I'm seeing out in the late afternoons on the golf courses, going out to Brittany and playing. It's a new breed of golfers that's out there. I mean, you go down there and you watch them. It's exciting. It comes with headaches too. We've got to educate them. They don't know. So a lot of the stuff that you're seeing, Phil was saying, got some people getting close to greens or doing some stuff. It's education, and we're trying to do the best we can. But it is exciting in the golf side to see the new golfers that are out there.
Especially the little ones. There has been a lot of little ones I've noticed, which is fantastic.
It is.
That's what we need.
It's really good. All the high school golfers are out there, and the high school golfers, all the coaches, the teams are growing. It's crazy. It's good to see. So.
Yep.
Daryl, one thing I was at the range this morning, and it was full, and I was thinking as we go to next year, if I imagined all the bays being full, it would almost be unplayable because it's so tight. And why don't we consider making the bays like 1.5? Like instead of doubling the number of bays, making it like 1.5 times, so there's still a little bit more room.
Split the difference of what we
Yeah.
have now.
You're
compared to
talking
normal.
about on the mats?
Yeah, on the mats. Yeah, or even when we go to the grass.
When we go to the grass, we spread them out a little bit
Okay.
more, which does help. But also people push in and move those bag stands, so we have to spread them out more at times.
Right. But because it's when it's full, it feels tight. out
It is
there.
tight, yeah. You're right.
And even at half, that's at half capacity.
Yeah, now what we have on the mats right now is regulation spacing between it, just
Oh, okay.
FYI. Yeah,
Okay.
it is regulation, so
Okay.
we'll have to look at next year and see where we
I couldn't
go.
imagine going to twice that many people.
We need to also look at what we do at Tanyard as far as having a closed opportunity to do anything over there, whether it's work on the tee or the rough part out there. We're trying to do some things to get a little more grass out there, but we have no time because they open at 7. And remember now, a couple things. That's Rob's deal here. His shop is at the sewer plant. It takes a while to get from there to Tanyard to start with, which makes it a challenge. And then he has to get the golf course set up beforehand. It's helped to have tee times. With shotguns, it was next to impossible. So I'm gonna work with Daryl to figure out how we can have some closings or delayed starts to be able to do something over there, because we'll have to.
Right now, just in case no one knows in the public, we have Wednesday morning starts a little later, just 2 hours later. That's it. But we have posted and everyone's aware of it as far as we know.
That's where? Here?
Wednesday at Tanyard Creek, Wednesday morning is a morning maintenance till 8 o'clock.
Okay.
All right, nothing else for me. Mr. Alex, are
Good.
you
Alex?
listening?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for getting me on the program here. So we are in the middle of our heavy season. Like Daryl said, our rounds of golf are up. We're seeing the same thing with our tournament programs. Basically, through the line, all of our POA events have been at least at or way better than participation has been in the past years. So everything is really looking up from a tournament side of things. We've had a lot going on since our last meeting. We've had our men's club championship. We had 58 players competing this year compared to about 30 last year. I'd like to congratulate our multi-time champion now, Bob Brooks. I can't even count how many times that he's won our club championship, but he fired a 36-hole total of 3 under par at the country club about 3 weeks ago. So congratulations to Mr. Brooks as our 2020 men's and senior men's club champion. We took the top 8 scores from the club championship, and we now put them into a match play bracket. That's new for 2020. We're trying to get a match play portion of our club championship for this year and try to build onto it for the future. So that's ongoing. Their first round matches are taking place throughout the rest of this month, and we'll be playing the semifinal and final matches as we get into October and November. So another little exciting thing for our membership to get into. After that, we've had the Alzheimer's Golf Classic. We had 30 teams this year, raised a ton of money, had a great day out at Kingswood that went about as good as could be expected. I think everybody loved tee times, just like I'm hearing quite a bit from most of our tournament participants. Tee times make everything go faster. They don't necessarily always want to play at 8 o'clock in the morning, so all that was going really well. I believe this past Labor Day weekend, the Friends of Dogwood tournament had good participation. I think Paul told me they had 28 teams out there, raised a lot of money for that Friends of Dogwood event. And then this coming Saturday, we have the prostate cancer tournament. Right now we're sitting at 52 teams for 2 golf courses. So we've got 2 nice and full golf courses for this event. That's up from about 30 teams or so last year. Last year we were only on Kingswood. This year we're going to fill up both the Country Club and Kingswood, and we'll be raising a ton of money. So really good stuff coming up. Also, next week, Superintendent's Revenge. This will be our first time to have this new and fun event. We're expecting to have a full field. We're getting pretty close to our max number for that event at Dogwood. And like I said, this is a fun, kind of goofy golf setup. Keith and his guys are going to set the course up as impossible as can be, put the pins in the toughest spots, make a few obstacles out there on the golf course. And we're real excited to see how diabolical Keith and his team can be to our tournament players here. So looking forward to that.
And by the way, get off the cart path, I'm yelling at you.
Yeah, this is your day. That's your day for this event here. And we've rescheduled our Parent-Child Championship. It was scheduled about a month ago. We got rained out at Brittany. The new date is going to be September the 26th. We've got a 9-hole little event out at Brittany. So Parent-Child Tournament is back on the schedule, and we're still taking sign-ups. We want to get as many kids and parents playing as possible. So that is our tournament report for this month. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Well, thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Alex, thank you, man. You're doing a great job with the
Appreciate
tournaments. Kim, I see you're on. I know you didn't have any agenda, but did anything come up? Kim Carlson?
No, I'm just a listener today.
Okay. Go Chiefs. Tom?
Woo-hoo-hoo. Did Tom say that?
No, I did. No, I did not say that. Tom did not say that.
A couple things. So when I was doing the 2020 plan presentations, and we were talking about the activity card sales, I had estimated that we would be up over prior year anywhere from 10 to 15%. We are now tracking at 41% over prior year.
That's awesome.
We're really, really doing well.
That's awesome.
Also, our member service is extremely busy because the number of guest passes has gone up by 90% over prior year. A lot of lake use in that. And on the subject of lake use, boat registrations are up by 18,000. I'm sorry, 18%. How am I doing? 18%.
That's a lot of boats.
That's a lot of boats.
Welcome to Beaver.
And what I'm really pleased about is our restaurants are at 90% of normal now.
That's
We had a couple weeks in March where we were closed, and then we were at 40%. And we've slowly, if you look at each month, we've slowly ticked up. We're at 90%, and this past weekend, we actually matched last year. And that's pretty impressive, given that we don't have any large events. We can't have weddings, and that's a large source of revenue for us. So I'm very pleased with that we're coming back. We're following all the COVID restrictions. Our customers feel comfortable coming to the restaurants. So I'm very pleased with that. Now, earlier it was pointed out the increase in rounds, 15,300 more rounds this year than last year. When's the last time we said that golf rounds were up? But what's of particular interest is the pay-as-you-play member rounds. The non-annual memberships, the pay-as-you-play member rounds are up 10,000 over prior year. That tells me that we got the pricing structure correct with the 2020 plan, that our members are liking the new pricing structure and they're coming out and playing a lot. And the last thing is, today I downloaded the first beta version of our app. We're developing an app, and we're going to be rolling it out slowly and getting comments before we go, community-wide. But it's very impressive. Our marketing department's been working on this. I'm sure Kim's really irritated with me that I'm talking about this, but after her chief's comments, she had it coming.
So what's the purpose
Store
of
loser.
the application?
I'm sorry, what?
So what's the purpose of it?
Of our app?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be able to go on there. You're going to find a map with all our amenities listed. You can then get the telephone number. You can get directions on how to get to Branchwood, the clubhouse there. You're
It's the
gonna,
website on steroids, basically. isn't it?
it's going to be very user friendly, and
Tea times?
not yet. Those are things that we're looking at. We want to add things to it. So this will be our beta version, and then this will be version 1, and we're talking about, version 2, version 3, so forth. Down the road, we'd love to be able to issue guest passes, and they appear on the app or something like that. And maybe we get rid of the activity card. Maybe this is your activity card, something like that. So that's way down the road. But we just, we want to make sure it's functional and easy to use. So I was looking at one of the amenities. I looked at Dogwood Golf Course. I was here and I hit directions, and it, whoop, straight there. Makes it nice and easy on getting people to where they need to go. Because there's so many people, they live on the east side and they don't go to the west side that much, or they live on the west side, they don't get to the east side that much, or new members that just don't know their way around. We'll be rolling that out pretty soon, but it's really very exciting, and I compliment Kim and her team for a job well done. And that was all I had to report.
Okay, thanks, Tom. Board liaisons, Mary, David, Jan.
I'm good.
Okay, thank you. We had one email, that's what I'm looking up on my phone because I forgot to print it, from a member that came in. Okay, yeah, thanks, Tom. My vice chair's got my back every time. Thanks, Phil. So we had an email come in from Bobby Hyslip. I hope I said that right, Hyslip. This is really a question that will kind of come to Daryl and Keith. Why not open up the practice area at Kingswood? The practice green has been open all year, but not the driving range area. There are a few people that I've observed using it even before COVID-19. The city of Bentonville opened its parks yesterday. Again, this was Wednesday, September 2nd. So I see no reason to leave it closed. I'm sorry, I don't have my readers. So if you're not the proper person, this was sent actually to Dave DeGraff, one of our committee members, send us to the right people. So I told Dave just to let him know we were going to read it at our meeting and address it. So Daryl, if you would mind.
Yeah, I'll jump on that real quick. I've had a couple members come up and ask me why we don't allow people to go down to the driving range down by Kingswood. If anybody knows where that is, it's down the bottom by the putting green. We've got a little tee box down there that you take your own golf balls down there, you hit them out and you go shag and get them. Well, there's the issue due to COVID. It is hitting golf balls out there, your golf balls, you get cross-contaminated, different people out there hitting it. We can't control it. So we did reach out, Gavin did a due diligence reach out, and it's not like a park. A park you walk around or you walk your dog in and you walk, but you're actually hitting golf balls. At our ranges, we disinfect all the golf balls. Once they get hit, they come in, they're cleaned and disinfect the bucket for people to pick up. So safety first, Jason, and that's the answer. When it gets better down there, we'll do it. Now, the putting greens are open. You only got 2 golf balls or 1 golf ball warming up to putt, and off you go and you play. But people take their golf balls down there, shag bags, and hit them. So we have kept that closed due to COVID, and that's why.
Thanks, Darrell. Any other comments or questions for that question that came from the member? We really don't have any old business. I do have a question real quick for Darrell and his team. We're seeing this tremendous growth in golf rounds, and it could be a lot of different reasons. But looking at the COVID over the last spring and now that we're through summer, a lot of learnings, a lot of pros and cons, obviously, but a correction of errors. What do you think going forward as we get ready for 2021? Hopefully COVID is not going to be in play, but as we get ready for 2021, what would you like to see, or what are some correction of errors? What are the positive things that have come out of it? What are some of the things that we need to address as a committee and as a community for the golfing community? I know that's a very broad stroke, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts.
No, it's a good question. Just so the committee's probably not aware of it, my staff is. About 2 months ago, we had a meeting, and I called it, what did we learn from COVID? What are the ideas? What's happening? What are we seeing out there? And we threw some ideas up on the board, and kind of one biggest thing that stuck across the board is tee times. I've been here a while, and I'm going to say it. Tom's probably going to kick me under the table, but when I got here, it's shotguns. It works. Shotguns work. When we talk and we visit with everybody, and just the pros, they say, hey guys, shotguns don't work. Look what we're doing. Look what we have. Pace of play is quicker. They're getting out there. They're enjoying it. Yes, there's a social aspect, but we are starting to see a trend in the membership that are hanging around afterwards and visiting. That's one of the things we've really noticed. It helps Keith's people out, getting the course ready, getting everything going. So from that, 2 months ago, I started to visit with golf group leaders, guys I've known that I call family, and go around and say, hey, what do you think about tee times? I love them. And I can have breakfast at home. I don't have to wake up at 6 o'clock and have breakfast and rush and pack my car and get there. This is good. And I like it. It's working. So, that's one thing we'll look at for next year, to help Keith out, to help some members out, to help everything. Rounds are up. Pace of play is better. Not jamming up on the golf course. We've seen it. Alex alluded to it in his tournament deal. We were worried about tournaments. We were worried about the whole, get them on the golf course, get it done in 5 hours, get up and we do prize giving 6 hours. It's a 6.5 hour day. All of a sudden, tournaments are going around, the people getting out of there, 4 o'clock, communicating through emails on the results. It's a different feel. A lot of people are liking it. That's what I'm getting, Jason. That's one of our biggest things. Some of the shortfalls, we're going to get creative on how we can sell merchandise. And we're working on LT's putting head together, and we're scratching it, we're figuring that out. But I would say my biggest thing we're seeing as pros out there, and our membership is seen as well, is tee times. They do work.
Good. And I know go ahead, Keith, from
I just want to give a real quick example of how it benefits us. Ever since I got here, we'd always harped in my department, we need to be more efficient. We're hanging around the golfers, we're balling the golfers, we're following them, we're going opposite direction. All that other stuff we try to do never works when there's a golfer on every hole, or 2 groups on every hole. You're going to beat somebody. An example for me that might make it easier for you, when we have a shotgun at 7, we have to send out 2 greensbars, 1 on each side. We have to send out 2 cup changers, 1 on each side. And we only have like 5 or 6 people to show up to work during certain times of the year, the first thing. So we don't rake bunkers at all. So now, if we have tee times, we can send 1 greensbar, 1 setup person, a bunker rake, a water guy, and maybe even do some trimming. So we're able to do more things initially in front of play. Then here's the second part of that. When we get caught on number 10, let's say, we go from the area right around where you're playing, like around a green or something like that. we can move further out into the rough. The next morning, we could go start on 10, and you're not going to catch us till we're done. So efficiency is great. I think over time, we'll have better conditions because of that, because we're going to be more consistent in the product, and you're going to get more things and see more things done. So for me, it's efficiency that will lead to a better product over time.
I'm going to harp on that too, because I actually ran into one of the superintendents on the golf course, and it was about 9:30, and he had his crew cleaning up under some trees near a tee box. And I looked across and saw it, so I drove across there in a golf cart, and I'm like, man, this looks kind of cool. Why are you doing this? He says, well, I've been trying to get air on this tee box for the last 5 years, but when we have shotguns, I can't get to it. I said, I've got all my guys' courses ready for them. I've got 2 hours, 3 hours. Look what we're doing. It was awesome. It helps getting airflow, cleaning up, all the little things that pays attention to what we can bring our membership. So tee times is what Keith's seen was what I'm hearing too.
I told Daryl a while ago, I said I would settle for 4 carts for the rest of the time versus going back to the shotgun.
Stop. Let's talk about that, because in an ideal world for Keith and golf operations would be when COVID's done, we get back to 2 people per cart, because it's a little more social, and we stick with tee times.
Right.
Keep the pace of play, go back to our tee times. Everybody sees how it does work, and then we can support the bar in the restaurants, right, Tom?
And merchandise. I mean, the pro shops too. I mean, you have more people going in and out. I'm only assuming, and I shouldn't assume. We know what that means, but you have more people going in and out of the pro shop during normal time, not obviously COVID, but during tee times you do, because not everybody shows up once and they're not.
So I got one more thing on the merchandise that we learned this year too. So due to COVID, our Golf Fest was canceled. So we've reached out to the reps once they got their ducks in a row for sanitization reasons and security for traveling. We've been having fitting days, not demo days, fitting days, professional fitting days, and you schedule them, 8 people at a time. And this, it's crazy to see, because we are now on our 2nd round per company for fitting days, and the money is better. It's closing sales so much better. It's like a 98% closing rate on these fittings.
There's also the small groups that I think that.
It's cool. It's really cool. And I'm going to tell you too, because Hillary, myself, Gavin, and Alex have been busy fitting this year. It's crazy. In the afternoon, Tom's looking for me. What's he doing? Fitting golf clubs. But it is. We're doing it, and it works. So
yeah, nap time. It's usually about 3:15, right?
So it is. That's another thing we did learn was, Golf Fest is fun. It's just hitting a bunch of golf balls, but the closing rate, the personal contact with the customer wasn't there. And this has taken it to another level when they come in and they schedule it, they see what they want, and the reps are doing a great job too. So that's the other thing. And I've got more, but we've got time limit.
On that subject, could I just add,
anybody has anything, go for it.
here had an opportunity to be fitted for golf clubs?
Yes. I've done it. Not recently, but last
year. And it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Anyway, I just had to throw that in.
It's made Mark hit it straight.
All the difference.
Mark's hitting it straight now.
Thanks, Daryl.
Yes, Susan.
Yeah, I also want to compliment LT, because I've noticed in the shops, she's done a really good job, because there's not as much time spent in the shops, right? But I think she's done a really good job with her merchandise selection and just having a few of a certain style, right? So you still have the selection of styles, but not the depth, but it looks to me like the merchandise is moving. Now we had a couple months where, it all slowed down. But I think she's done a really good job of keeping the assortment fresh and moving without a lot of markdowns. So kudos to her.
It's good. Anybody have any other comments for the COVID discussion and tee times and all that good stuff?
Oh, the groups I play with, all tee times. The women, Well, you know, now if you're the one that's stuck at the 1 o'clock tea time, you know, there's a little bit of grousing, right? But the last few weeks you played at 9:30 or 10, and that's really nice. And a lot of people do not like to get up early and be inundated with a bunch of people. It just isn't their style. And so they like that.
Bill, did you have anything? Or are we just stretching? Okay.
Yeah, so I have one more question.
Yes, go ahead.
If we continue to do tea times and that kind of thing, should the restaurants get in the box lunch business? Because I'll tell you, Papa Mike's is selling a ton of box lunches.
It is already in the business. The flyers will be out on Friday.
And there you go.
And we have box lunches in Country Club, Highlands, Dogwood, so you can pick them up. But we actually have a little flyer that Tommy made up with a box lunch, drink, and a little bit of a gratuity in there to pick them up, and things are good. So you'll see that out there.
Let's do it.
When do we get a restaurant in Highlands?
Wrong committee, Phil. Your restroom or restaurant? I couldn't understand your mask.
Well, we get some new patio furniture, we'll have them ready to open up for
There you
business.
go.
Hot dogs are getting home.
That's Mark's new job. Extend the patio.
What is that?
Mark's new job is to extend the patio at Highlands.
That's it, I'm done.
That's, I'm serious, that's good information, Darrell, and Keith, both. I think it's something we definitely need to continue to discuss amongst people that are, especially the group play. Myself, as we all know, I don't play in a group, so it doesn't really, but it affects me. I can find a tea time every once in a while now, but it doesn't affect me as much as the group play does, and I know that's where a lot of our revenue comes from. So definitely want to do the right thing for them, but that's good intel. I think we should go to the groups when we talk to the members out there, and let's talk to them, see what they think. If we know they play in a group. Is there anything else from anyone?
Yes, I got one.
Of course.
I got one more. Well, you reminded me of it.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, so we got some new members in here that weren't around beginning of the year. We had a gentleman, Jake Grasmick.
Oh, yes.
Who has been,
I know.
Has volunteered over 15 years of service into the village, was chairman of this board for 6 years, a long time. He's going through a tough time right now. Cancer has hit him pretty hard. But the beginning of the year, we got a little thank you for his service that he's done in the Bella Vista and the community around here. It's a little stone, and it goes back to when I started here. He used to take care of the waterfall down on, it used to be number 3 or number 2, now it's number 11. On Country Club, get in there, he would weed eat it every other week by himself. So we've got a nice little memorial stone, it sounds bad, memorial stone, but a thank you stone to go up, and we're gonna put it down there next week, and then we'll shoot out some invite for people to come down, and we're gonna get him down there so you can see it. I just would like everybody to keep him in their prayers.
Absolutely.
This is a very critical month for him in his cancer battle.
I didn't know he had come down with cancer. His wife was sick, but I didn't know he was.
Yeah, she mended, and now he's going through it. So
Okay.
I'll reach out to everyone that knows him. He doesn't want a big thing. He doesn't want 50 people down there. He just wants a few. But if you're playing Country Club later part next week, maybe the following week, and you get to number 11, look to your right by the waterfall, and you'll see a little stone down there. Same thing as like we did for David Walshall.
That's awesome. Yeah, everybody definitely keep Jake. Jake did a ton of work out here up until 2 years? Was it last year? I think. Did a heck of a lot of work up here. So I definitely keep him and his family in your prayers. That would be awesome. Anything else? All right, our next meeting. I hate not having my glasses. October 14th at 4. Yes, that's a typo. 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. Yep. Sorry. And that was a copy and paste on my bad. And then, let's see, after that we will go, don't we usually go to 8:30 on November, if I remember
Yes,
correctly.
yeah.
Yes.
So we'll be prepared to vote on that. AM, yeah. I know, it's tough for me to get out of bed too, but they make me do it. So, anyway, if there's nothing else, meeting's adjourned.